Hi viewers, I'm Dr. Velavan, Faculty School of Management, Shastra, Deemed University. In continuous with the previous session, now we are going to discuss about the remaining part of the registration under GST, because in the previous session we have discussed what are all the sections we have to cover under registration under GST, section 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28 and 29 and 30. These are the sections we have to cover, and we discussed up to section 25. So now we are going to discuss the remaining part of the 25 and section 26 and followed by others. Okay. The general procedure for registration. What are the procedures we have to follow to register our business? But this general procedure is not applicable for NRTP, TDS, EPS and OIDER. The non-resident taxable person, tax deducted at source, a person who deducts TDS and TCS, tax collected at source, and online information data authority also. And also we discussed earlier, we need a separate registration for special economic zone. So whenever we run the business in a special economic zone, we have to register separately for all the business unit. Okay. Part 1, because I already told you at the time of following the procedure, we have to follow two parts. Part 1 is for assessee's point of view. Here the assessee has to seed some information about their business, their PAN number, mobile address, and in which state he belongs. So everything here he has to give. Okay, he has to give. Based on that, the proper officer will verify, and if he is satisfied, he will give the temporary registration number, unique identity number. Okay, you see. Number 1, Part A. Apply in Part A of Form GST registration number 1 on GST Common Portal. You see, this is not in a manual work. Everything should be done in the system. Because computer based registration, online based registration. Once you registered your business, they will give one registration number. This number consists of 15 digit, 15 digit registration number, along with your PAN, along with your status, along with which state you belong, everything you belong, everything they mention in the PAN number. We'll discuss later one by one. Okay. Apply in Part A of Form GST Register number 01 on GST Common Portal. Declare PAN, mobile number, email address, and state or UT. You have to give a person who is going to register, or who is the owner of a business, or who is the representative or legal authoritative or authenticated person. They have to submit the following information. One is PAN, then mobile number, then email address, then state or UT, which state he belongs, or which union territory he belongs. Okay. These are all the very important information. First, you have to give your PAN, mobile number, email ID, state. That is very relevant. All are very important information. You have to give. Okay. validation. Here you give what validation. Wherever you go, suppose you are going to withdraw money, one OTP will ask by the bank or by the machine. When you give the OTP, then only we can be able to take the money from ATM. So this is for validation. This validation is the verification or checking of whether you are a correct person or not, or you are a correct person, you are a right person to give the information or not. This is what validation, because anybody can do a registration in your name. Like some people, they bought property, but this property is already sold by them to others. So this is called disputed property. So here, so whenever you buy a property, you should take one encumbrance certificate for last 20-25 years. Already you have to check already this property is registered or not with some other person. So everything you have to check, because we are going to buy, we are going to invest our hard-earned money in the fixed assets. So like that, here also the validation is very, very important, but they give PAN-based validation. PAN-based validation is nothing but at the time of taking PAN number or applying the PAN number, what number you give, what mobile number you give, the same number maybe will be used here for your registration. Because I think you have to use only one number for all communication. This is better for particularly registration, better for you. But you may have a different phone numbers, but you may use other number for some other common calls. Okay, not for this type of registration and all. This is what very, very important. Okay. Then next one is so here online by common portal from Central Board of Direct Tax database, mobile number, email address by one-time password. They give one-time password. You have to re-enter the one-time password. The portal will open. Then only you have to give all the other relevant information. Okay. Then generate temporary reference number. Once you complete your process, they issue one temporary registration number. This number is very, very important and communicated in the validated mobile number and email address. So they sent one temporary registration number for your reference for your further process or further transactions. Okay. Through your mobile number or email ID which you give at the time of registration. This is what the step number 3, my dear students. Step 4, using TRN, submit application electronically in part. You have to use this temporary reference number for further submission of registration applications. Okay. Using TR number, submit application electronically in part B. So this is part B. So part 1 is you have to give the basic information about you or about your business along with your validated mobile number, because they give one OTP for your verification. After completion of the verification, they issue one number. This number is called temporary registration number. You may use this number before get the authenticated registration number for you. Okay. Once you get the temporary registration number, you are eligible to claim, you are eligible to avail all the benefits from the Government of India regarding GST. Okay, good. Along with the required documents, Constitution of Business, jurisdiction, option for composition, date or commencement of business, reason for registration, address, details of bank account, details of authorized signature. So once you get the information, you have to submit all the information, constituents of business. Constitution of business means the agreement or deed. In case of partnership deed. In case of company, MOU. Articles of association, memorandum of association, then jurisdiction, option for composition. Do you have any idea regarding composition? You have to give the option, date of commencement of business, in which date you started your business, reason for registration, what purpose you are going to register your business. So here you tell honestly, you have a rights to claim ITC, and once you registered your business, you are a taxable person. You are going to supply taxable goods and provide taxable services to your customers. So when you give these type of services and supply goods, you are eligible to collect the GST and settle the government after adjusting a set of all the input tax credit. Okay, this is what we are going to do. This is what the benefit you have once you get the registration of your business. Okay, very simple. Okay, the note. Details of bank account can be furnished later, but within whichever is earlier. But you need not give the details of bank account immediately, but it should be submitted the following: date of registration plus 45 days, or date of return to furnish under section 39. So whichever is earlier of these two, you have to submit your bank detail, because the people are not ready to submit the bank detail immediately. They will be hesitated. To submit the bank detail, but it's compulsory. Once you have to submit, you have to submit your bank detail, but better you have to maintain a separate bank account for your business. Obviously, the people are maintaining a separate bank account, so no problem at all. This relaxation is not applicable for, date of registration plus 45 days. So here you get 46 days. So after, within 46 days, you have to submit your bank account details. So here you have 46 days in your hand to submit the bank details. That's all. This is the meaning. This relaxation is not applicable for TDS, TCS, and Sumoto registration and the authentication of Aadhaar number. You see, TDS, a person who deducts TDS, a person who collects TCS, and Sumoto registration. Sumoto registration means the registration given by the proper officer directly with the suspicious, with the doubt, because you are eligible to register your business, but you are not registered so far. Why? Purposely you are delayed. So here they give voluntary registration number to you. This is for Sumoto registration. Okay, guessing, based on the guessing, very simple. Here, the data, 46 days relaxation for the submit of bank account is not applicable for the following. So they have to submit, A and B, they have to submit all the details at the time of registration. That is the time of registration. They will not allow to wait one more 46 days to submit their bank account. Okay, at the time of registration they have to submit. So this is what you have to do after getting what? Temporary registration number. So first one is what? Part 1. Apply in Part A of form GST registration number 1 on GST Common Portal. In this form, you have to give the following details: bank, mobile number, email address, state or UT. State means which state you are doing business and which territory you are doing business. Okay. Then once you submit all the detail, one validation will be happen. This validation, they will send one OTP in your registered mobile number or email number. You have to tell or type the OTP which you received in your mail or in your mobile phone. Then once they satisfied, they give one temporary number, registration number. After that, you have to submit the following document. Okay, this is what the process. Finally, acknowledgement issued electronically. They give one acknowledgement. This is for the authenticated proof for your submission of data regarding registration. This is what the part 2 of the general procedure of the registration, my dear students. Okay. In part 2, what is the role of proper officer? This is very, very important. So now only the role of proper officer will start. Okay. So after complete the process of the assessee, what are the process? Part 1, they have to submit their relevant data, and after the validation they give one temporary registration number. Based on that they have to upload some relevant document, then finally they give one electronic acknowledgement for the submission of all the relevant data. That's all. Okay. The proper officer examine the application plus document. Examine means verify. The proper officer verifies all the information which are uploaded or given in the application, and also he has to validate the attached documents. Attached documents, what are the documents you uploaded or submitted. He has to check whether they are original. Original means are true or fake document. So everything he has to verify. He has to verify. So this is the major role of the proper officer. Proper officer, because he has to verify. He has to verify all the documents, and if application is in order, grant registration certification in Form GST registration number 6. Once he is satisfied in your application and information and document, definitely, immediately the proper officer issue registration certificate. Issue registration certificate in Form GST registration number 06. In GST 06 is for registration certificate. Okay. If application is not in order, suppose you have not submitted the proper application, or you have not given proper information, relevant information, you may give some wrong information. So the PO issue notice electronically for clarification in 3 working days. After his dissatisfaction, he sent one clarification notice to you through mail. He asked for clarification, explanation within 3 days. Notice may be issued not less than 21 days from the application submission date in case whether a person fails to undergo Aadhaar authentication. In case Aadhaar authentication you are not given, they will give notice within 12 days. Within 12 days. 12 days they will take to give the notice for clarification. 12 days from the date of submission of application, not more than 12 days. So means what? Within 12 days they will reply. They will reply what are the what are the mistakes you have in your applications. Then based on that you have to reply to them. Okay. So after sending the notice within 3 days or 12 days by the proper officer through mail, the applicant should furnish the clarification in 7 working days. Once the applicant gets the reply or query from the proper officer, the applicant should reply with all clarification proof within 7 working days from the date of receipt of the notice from the proper officer. This is very, very important. So the applicant should reply within 7 working days. That is very, very important. And proper officer may issue registration certificate in 7 working days if PO is satisfied. If he is satisfied with your clarifications and additional documents, immediately the proper officer will issue the registration certificate. It should be within 7 working days from the previous 7 working days. This is very, very important. PO may reject registration in 7 working days. If again PO is not satisfied, or the clarification is not received, the reply of clarification is not received within 7 working days, the PO will reject your application within 7 working days from the notice issued. So this is what the dates are following by the proper officer before issue the registration certificate. Before issue the registration certificate, my dear student. Okay. Here you see one note. Clarification includes modification, corrections of particulars, deleted in the application for registration other than PAN, declared in the application for registration other than PAN, state, mobile number and email address. So this is what the clarification. Clarification is nothing but you may modify your particulars, PAN number, state, PAN number not chance. So you declared in the other than, you cannot change PAN, state, mobile number and email address. Once you give this information, they will not be changed. So before give this information, you see this information you cannot change further. So you should be very careful at the time of giving this basic and fundamental information for registration, my dear student. Okay. Deemed approval of application. What is deemed approval? If the proper officer fails to take any action for your application for registration, you see, you have submitted relevant data, you have uploaded all the relevant documents, but he has not given any reply. He failed to take action about or against or of your application. So here, when he fails to reply about your application within 3 working days from the date of application, okay, not related to Aadhaar issues. When you have an Aadhaar issues, the reply should be within 21 days. 21 days, okay. Within 7 working days from the date of receipt of clarification. Suppose you see, at the time of giving application, he has not returned properly within 3 days. Or you have an Aadhaar issue, but you give a proper Aadhaar number, but within 21 days he failed to give any reply. So now your application is processed, your firm is registered. That's all. This is called deemed registration, because the mistake is not your side, their side only. You honestly tell my business is registered, because you go with temporary registration number. No problem at all. You can mention mention, or you can mention the temporary number in your bill. Based on that, you can claim ITC and other benefits also. But after give proper reply, but you give a clarification for his notice, but after getting clarification, he failed to reply within 7 days. Here also your approval, your registration process is approved. This is called deemed. Deemed means likely to be. Deemed means likely to be, your business is registered, but not actual registered, likely to be registered, because you have completed your part of registration. You have completed your part of registration. They failed to fulfill their responsibility. So this is not your mistake, my dear students. Okay, this is what. But here also the dates are very important. Within 3 working days, 21 days, 7 working days. Okay, these are very important. Okay. Aadhaar authentication. When Aadhaar authentication is must, that is very important. Okay. Number 1, for new applicants, data submission of application is whichever is earlier of the date of authentication of Aadhaar number or 15 days from the submission of the application in Part B, Form GST registration number 1. In case of new applicant, the Aadhaar notification should be given the date of authentication of Aadhaar number. When you get the Aadhaar number or 15 days from the application. Suppose you don't have any Aadhaar number, you apply for Aadhaar, so that number will be very, very important. Existing registered person authenticated. Where Aadhaar is not assigned, when Aadhaar is not assigned, the registered is granted only after physical verification. The proper officer may carry out the verification of such document as he may be given. So when your Aadhaar is not given, the proper officer will come directly to your place and he verify all the documents physically. Then he is satisfied, he will grant registration number. Very simple. Okay. In case of already registered person needs authenticate of the Aadhaar or the other document, else the registration becomes invalid. In case of already registered person needs authentication or the other document. In case of existing person, you have to submit Aadhaar number or other relevant document, unless otherwise your registration will be cancelled. Okay. Aadhaar authentication is Aadhaar authentication is to be uploaded through the OTP, through the document or the proper OTP sent through link. It should be given because they will give one link. They sent the Aadhaar number through that link. Okay. Other points. Once the physical verification along with other documents including photograph of business premises shall be uploaded in GST Common Portal within 15 working days in some cases. Suppose you fail to give Aadhaar and other document, you have to submit all the documents within 15 days when the physical verification is over. So from the date of physical verification, you have to submit all the relevant documents within 15 working days. Once you upload, if the PO is satisfied, they will give one registration, fresh registration number. The registration number should be like that. You see, issuance of registration certificate with GST number, PAN based number. Because I already told you, because this is the PAN based registration. PAN based registration, because already you have a 10-digit PAN number. The 10-digit PAN number with some state code. This is your PAN number, state code, 2-digit number. Entity means whether you are an individual or a company or trust or society, that entity code, and check code. Check code means statewide check code we have. This number will be given. So totally they will give 15-digit number. The registration number, GST registration number should be in 15 digits. This is a 15-digit registration number they give. Okay, they give. So this 15-digit registration number will be used for your business. Okay, now you have to, whenever you take the printout copy, this number is always available in your bill. Okay, now only the people faith or people trust you. You are a registered person. Okay, your bill is valid bill. Okay, this is what issue of registration certificate with GST. Okay. Effective date of registration, this is very, very important, my dear students. Effective date of registration. You see the date of registration and the date of application and date of registration. Apply within 30 days from the date of liability for registration. Date of liability for registration already we discussed. When you reach the threshold limit, either 10 lakh or 20 lakh or 40 lakh, the day itself you have to. So the date of application, apply within 30 days. Suppose you see you are now you are in month of December. The day 1 of the December you reach the threshold limit. So 31st is the date of liability for registration, because within 30 days. Then in December 1 in December 1, you reach the threshold limit. So within 30 days, you add 30 days here. So the 31st day is the date of liability for 31st December is the date of liability for registration. Okay. Then after apply after 30 days from the date of liability. So when you apply within 30 days from the date of liability for registration, the date of liability for registration is the date of registration. Okay. But when you apply after 30 days, but you fail to apply for registration within 30 days, so now when you apply after 30 days, the date of grant of registration will be the date of registration. They give, and which date they give registration certificate, on that day will be for your date of registration. This is what very, very important, but you have to apply within 30 days from the date of liability for registration. This is very, very important. Suppose you fail, what is the loss? You are going to lose your rights to claim ITC. Very simple, nothing more than that. You are going to lose. You are the loser of ITC. Claiming ITC is not possible. So when you are delaying day by day, you are losing your rights. Okay. This is what effective date of registration. Okay, good. Then section 26. Deemed registration. What is deemed registration? Already I told you. The grant of registration and a unique identity number under GST or UTGST shall be a grant of registration under GCST unless reject CGST. You see, already told you we are studying about the what? Central sales tax. Central goods and service tax, not central goods and service tax. CGST we are studying. We are studying CGST Act. When we study CGST Act, others are included. I mean, GST, UPGST are implied. They also take part of the CGST. So when you register your business under CGST, it is also to be treated as a registered under GST and UPGST. You see, both. But you have to register your business under CGST only. You need not register under GST or UTGST separately. No. Once you register your business CGST, it is also applicable for GST and UTGST. Very simple. This is for deemed registration, my dear students. Okay. The rejection of UNA under GST, UTGST shall be deemed to be rejection of registration under GST. When they reject your application for GST in CGST, automatically it is implied you understand your GST and UTGST is also rejected. Okay. This is what section 26. I hope all of you understand. Okay, good. So you could understand the effective date of registration and section 26 deemed registration. Okay. Section 27. Special provisions for registration for CTP and NRP. Casual taxable persons and non-resident taxable persons. CTP and NRTP get compulsory register at least 5 days prior to the commencement of the already we discussed. Already I told you they have to register their business prior 5 days from the date of commencement of their business. Prior 5 days, not next 30 days. The next 30 days is for the person those who are liable for registration, but not for special cases. Okay. CTP will apply in normal form with PAN. This is very, very important with PAN because we are going to register our business based on the PAN. PAN based registration is going. Suppose you don't have a PAN, you are not eligible. You can't register your business. PAN is necessary. NRTP will apply with self-attested valid passport along with application signed by his authorized signatory who is an Indian resident having valid PAN. NRTP should give this passport along with the attestation from a resident Indian who has PAN. That is very, very important. You may be, your father may be, your relative may be. NRTP should submit tax identification number applicable in his country. Suppose he is from America, USA. In USA, they have given one number for tax identification. This number should be mentioned in this application form because it is an authenticated number where we can easily refer and verify whether it is original or fake. This is what very, very important. The period of validity of registration certificate, whichever is earlier. Period specified in application, 90 days from effective date. Once they register their business, their validity of registration is only 90 days. So after 90 days, they have to register again. So extended for further 90 days, maybe. Extended for further 90. So once in 90 days, they have to register their business continuously because they are not in India. They are NRTP is not a resident of India. Then CTP is also doing show their business, show their product in exhibition continuously. It is not possible. Rarely happens. At least 5 times in a year or 6 times a year. That's why they have to register again and again within 90 days. Once in 90 days, they are registered. Okay. Suppose they do not have any business, no need to register. Not necessary. Section 28, Amendment of Registration. Amendment is nothing but changes. Okay. Whatever the field may be changed, because we cannot change all the field, we cannot change all the information which are given at the time of registration. Because, I hope you are all having little bit experience. Suppose, I hope how many of you have already applied for UPSC exam or some other competitive examination. They clearly mention once you write your date of birth, it cannot be changed. Name is not changed. Spelling and all, everything. So you have to maintain clearly this basic information. Because many people, they lost their life because of their lack of documents. So documents are very, very important. I am the only person. I am also among the person to lose my government job based on that. Because at that time I don't have a community certificate. I lost it. This is what happened in my life. So you should maintain all the documents properly. This is what here we are going to take. Change in case of PAN or principal place of business or additional place of business, one state to another. Maybe. Not possible, hence need to apply fresh registration. You may change it. But again, you will not allow to register your business one more time. Core field, you see, name of address, addition, deletion of stakeholders is possible. Within the state is possible. Within the state, core field may be changed. Core field is possible. But non-core field, other than core field, mail, mobile number, no. Change in case of core field. Inform the proper officer for amendment 15 working days. You have to inform 15 working days. Within 15 working days, sir, we have to made he is following changes in the application. Once he is satisfied, he permits you. Once he permits, then only you have to make a change. So this is for change in core field, non-core field. Non-core field, no chance for change. Okay, core field only you can change with the permission of proper officer, my dear students. Okay. And PO may approve or reject within next 15 working days. He may be accepted or he may be rejected your offer or demand within 15 working days. Okay. This is what section 28 amendment of registration. Okay. Changes in case of non-core field, certificate stand amendment or submission. In case of rejection, PO will give 7 working days to applicant for reply. If reply is satisfied, amended with 7 days. It's possible. Everything, you see, majority of the cases 7 days are the time limit. 7 days are the time limit. So 3, 7, 15. 3, 7, 15 for registration and 30 for date of liability for registration. So these are the days we used: 3, 7, 15, 30 for GST registration. Okay. Any rejection or modification in GST, UTGST is to be rejected or amended in CGST also. Once you want to make a change in SCST, your CGST is also changed because they are based on CGST only. You see, both are interconnected. Both are interconnected and interrelated. Okay. Amendments applicable prospectively expect with the order of commission. Okay. This is what. These are all the points you have to keep in your mind as per section 28. Section 29, cancellation of registration. When you have to cancel your registration, cancellation will either by PO on his own motion. Motion means their ideology, or by the registered person, or by a legal hire in case of death of the person. Cancellation will do either by PO when you are breaching, when you are against the law, and registered person. You decide you are going to cancel your business, no problem. Registration, no problem. And your legal hire, when the associates expire, die, or no more, the legal hire will take care of this. Okay. What are the situation? Discontinued business. When you discontinue business, here you may cancel your registration. Okay. Transferred fully for any reason, including death of the proprietor. Okay. Amalgamated with the other legal entity. Here you see, you cancel the previous one and create a new registration. Demerged, disposed, change in constitution of the business. Taxable person who is no longer liable for registration. Section 22, 24. No longer liable for registration. Not necessary to register their business. So, who are all cancel their business discontinued. When you discontinue your business, transfer fully or any reason including death of a proprietor, amalgamated with the other legal entity, demerged, disposed, then changes in constitution of the business, the taxable person who is no longer liable for it. So these cases, they have to be cancelled their registration. Okay. So this is what section 29. The next one is suspension of registration during pendency from whichever is lower of the date of submission of the application or the date from which the cancellation is sought. You may, when you submit the application, whichever is earlier, your registration may be suspended. Okay, during suspension, is not made taxable surplus. Once you send the application for your cancellation, the date of sending application and date of receiving the suspension, in between these 2 days, you will not claim, you cannot claim any GST and ITC, and no return filing is required. Suspension is revoked on completion of cancellation. No problem at all. You need not worry about it. But you will not collect the GST and you cannot claim the ITC also. Okay. So this is what dear students see. Yeah. Part 1 we discussed, and in part B, in part 2, procedure by proper officer, deemed approval of application, Aadhaar authentication for new applicant and existing registered person, then issuance of registered certificate, effective date of registration, 26 deemed registration, section 20 special provisions for registration for CPP and NRTP, section 28 amendment of registration. Amendment is nothing but changes anything we discussed, and cancellation of registration we discussed. Okay. What are the steps we have to follow for cancellation, where we have to cancel, and what you have not to do at the time of suspension. The circumstances when the registration can be cancelled by PO on its own, even with the retrospective date. This is very, very important. When a registered person has contravened provisions of that, these are the situation, the proper officer will come directly and cancel your registration. So when you behave against contravened provisions, against the law, the registered person has contravened provisions of that. A person paying tax under composition levy has not furnished a return for 3 consecutive tax periods. You are paying tax in composition levy. When you are going to pay tax in composition levy, your tax rate is very low, 1%. So in this situation, you have to file your return properly. You have to file your return properly. Unless otherwise you will be punished. So when you fail to return 3 consecutive tax periods, so fail to file the return 3 consecutive tax periods, the PO officer will come and cancel your registration immediately. A person paying tax other than taxpayer under composition levy has not once registered for continuous 6 months. Because here, once you registered, you have to file a monthly return, quarterly return, half-yearly return, and finally you have to file annual return. You will see all those things in return, unit 5. Okay. So, once you registered, you have to file return properly. One is what? Monthly return, quarterly return, half-yearly return, annual return. All returns are very, very important. All returns are very, very important. So, once you fail to file the return continuously, the PO will come and cancel your registration. So, these are the special circumstances for cancellation. 5B. Voluntary registered person has not commenced business within 6 months from the date. One person He decided to start business, but immediately resisted. But after registration, he won't start the business. He has not started any business for a long, 6-month period. In this situation, here you think one registration number is raised. He got the registration number, but he is not started his business. So now the registration is cancelled. Registration was obtained by means of fraud, willful misstatement, then suppression of fact, give wrong information. Suppression of fact means reduce the wrong information. Correct information. Suppression of fact, reduce the information. PO will cancel only after giving opportunity being cleared. When he knows you are giving wrong information, fake information, or suppression of fact, so here the PO officer will come and cancel your registration. So these are all the situations or circumstances. The registration can be cancelled by PO on his own, even with retrospective date, prior date also. And in this situation, you have to refund all the ITC you claimed. This is the punishment will be will be given by the central government. So you have to be very careful. Okay. Number one, registered persons has contravened provisions of the Act. The person paying tax under composition levy has not furnished return 3 consecutive tax period. The person paying tax other than taxpayer under has not furnished return for continuous 6 months. Then voluntary registered person has not commenced the business within 6 months from the date of registration. The registration was obtained by fraud, then willful mismanagement. So these are all the points you have to keep in your mind at the time of cancellation by okay. Procedure for cancellation. Apply for cancellation electronically within 30 days. Once you decide, you have to apply within 30 days for your registration, cancellation. And furnish the details of inputs held in stock or containing semi-finished finished goods or capital goods and liability thereof. You have to furnish the detail, what are the stocks you have, semi-work, everything you have to submit. Once you submit all the data, PO may issue cancellation order in 30 days. Next 30 days. Already told you 3 days, 7 days, 15 days, 13 days are the time limit for the registration, both granting as well as cancellation. Where the PO cancels the registration suo motu, he shall issue SCN with 7 days for reply. Certificate of cancellation. Shall issue certificate of cancellation. SCN means certificate of cancellation within 7 days. The proper officer may direct to pay pending tax due, etc. He may ask you to pay, because I am going to cancel your registration. You have to pay all the dues and pending tax, anything you have immediately. So based on that, you have to pay, then get the cancellation order. Deemed to be cancelled under CGST if registration is cancelled in HGST. Once the proper officer cancelled the CGST, automatically your HGST and UTGST is also cancelled. Because we are going to register our business only based on central goods and service tax, not state goods and service tax, and also union territory goods and service tax. Okay. Pay an amount on cancellation, whichever is higher. ITC, stock input contain working process, finished goods, capital goods. Output tax in case of capital goods, or plant and machinery, amount payable, whichever is higher. The tax on transaction value of goods or plant and machinery. That's it. These are all the amount. They ask you to give how much you have to pay. You have to pay that amount for an amount. The last one, revocation of cancellation. When you have to revocate, revoke your cancellation. You need further cancellation. You need registration again. So simply you have to revoke your cancellation. Your previous number will continue. Any registered person whose registration is cancelled by the proper officer on his own motion may apply such officer for revocation or cancellation of registration in the prescribed manner within 30 days from the date of service of the cancellation order. So if you want your registration number again, because already PO officer is cancelled, PO is cancelled, you apply within 30 days from the date of cancellation order you received. The proper officer either revoke cancellation of the registration in 30 days or reject the application. Either the proper officer either revoke the cancellation or reject it. Again he suspect you are in wrong. You are not going to do the business correctly. You suppress the fact. So when he suspects, there is no chance for getting revoke your application, cancellation. Provided that the application for revocation or cancellation of register shall not be rejected unless the applicant has been given the opportunities being heard a reply of 7 working days. The revocation should be done only after getting the proper reply from the applicant within 7 days. Then only the proper officer will do. The revocation of cancellation of registration under the GST shall be deemed once you revoke your cancellation for GST, GST, automatically GST also revoke. You may use the previous number for your business. Okay. On revocation, file the return during the period of cancellation within 30 days from the date of issue. So this is what, my dear student, here I have given some snapshot for your reference, okay, for your easy understanding. Okay, you see, person liable. Already we discussed. Here I have given a snapshot where and by, when, how, voluntary registration by ENI, effective date of return, deemed registration I have given. So thank you very much for your patient listening. So I request all of you, because I have given the detailed PPT, is not only for your degree. I think I hope it is very, very useful for your professional exams also, my dear students. So keep study, keep on study. You prepare well for your examination. Whenever you have a doubt, you note it, and you will raise your doubt at the time of conducting webinar. Okay. So I hope I have finished the registration clearly. Hope you all understand properly. If you have any queries, no problem. I'll see again. We discussed section 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and 27, 28, 29, 30 in detail, not in a crisp manner, in detail we discussed. So I hope all of you will watch the video, take the notes, and prepare well for your university examination. So all the very best. Bye.